For more on this story, we're joined now by Tom Packer. He's a fellow at Oxford University's Rothermere American Institute. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Can you just tell me first, is this move aimed at improving the lives of the American people, or is it aimed at angering Trump? And if it's the former, what more do we even know about Musk's politics or what policies he may run on?
I would say it's probably aimed at both, though for the latter, I'd say more pressurizing Trump. And also it might just be an expression of rage. When you own $200 billion, throwing a lot of money at this, if he does end up doing so, doesn't cost very much. I would say Musk's politics are broadly very free market. Obviously, he has his own particular interest, very keen on technical innovation, particularly famously flying to Mars. He also has a sort of pro-natalist side, a belief that not enough babies are. But above all, in terms of his ideology as opposed to his interests, a big belief in reducing the size of government, getting government out of the way of technology and innovation, which is a kind of conservatism which Donald Trump has moved a lot away from. So in that sense, you could see at least the thing this is part of the falling out for a while. But everyone forgets this, but Elon Musk actually supported Ron DeSantis, who was another Republican candidate at the 24 primary. His politics, I think, are quite a bit closer to Musk's than Trump's are.
Tom, I think it's fair to say that there's a lot of discontent in the U.S. with the two-party system. I don't imagine that Elon Musk is the first rich person, though perhaps the first rich person with $200 billion, to try to change it. So what are the logistics of founding a political party? I understand it's not a particularly easy feat.
Well, in a sense, it's very easy. You can form a political party if any American can. What is very difficult in the American system, unlike most Western democracies, is to get ballot access. And particularly, America has an incredible number of elected officers, in some places, including rat catcher, all the way up to president, through mayor and Congress and Senate and governor. The way he's framed this, he isn't talking about presidential election yet, though, is that he's just going to be running for a few congressional and senatorial seats. This all assumes how serious this is and whether he continues with it. And at least, particularly if you're allowed to, you can choose your state's party and how easy it is. Rich people, if they're willing to throw enough money, generally can get ballot access for particular elections. So the most famous example is in the early 90s, where Ross Perot spent, I think, $40 million, which is even more, might be more than that, and was able to run in all 50 states for president. He got 19% of the vote. What I would say is the two-party system is almost impossible to destroy. These two parties, unlike any other country in the world, have been the same two parties for the last 150 years. And there's two reasons. One is that the ballot access makes it very hard to set up an alternative. Three reasons, sorry. Set up an alternative. Secondly, that the emphasis of the presidency means that there's a huge tendency for people to want to have two parties because only one person can be president. A small party doesn't have a president candidate. And thirdly, which has only been true for about 100 years, the American party is very easy to take over to. So if you had enough support to win a state, you could just take over the Republican Party or the Democratic Party in that state. So I'm very confident if this party plays a role, it will be in running, possibly getting someone elected. I'd be surprised if they succeeded, possibly losing the Republicans some elections by running for as effectively as third-party candidates. It won't replace the Republicans or the Democrats. It's a way of levying pressure on the Republican Party. It's not actually going to create an alternative party to the big two.
All right. Tom Packer, thanks so much for those very interesting insights.